Welcome guys to VenGoose Gaming. I'm TFGoose here with Vendetta. We are bringing you SimCity at last. Buckle up, we're ready. Seriously, we've been waiting for this forever, guys, and Vendetta's going to take us through a bunch of his playthrough that he got recorded. We got hours of this stuff, so seriously, enjoy it. Vendetta, tell us what's going on here, how you starting things out.
Hey everybody, Vendetta here. Unlocked the full version of the game here, and we were starting out by going with Norwich Hills. I just wanted to do that because they have a lot of resources here, and trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do, you know? Did I want to be a miner? Did I want to be a driller? Maybe I want to do both.
Ooh, sexy. It's very important, though, to really cater your choices as far as what you're going to do as a city to the natural resources that are in the area. And this one just happens to have, you know, ore and oil as well, and some coal,
Tiny
I
bit of
believe,
coal.
as well. Yeah, you get some coal
tiny
too,
bit
which
of
we
coal.
messed around with a ton in the previous betas.
Yeah, coal power is awesome.
Yeah, it is really excellent. Oh, by the way, too, guys, just to mention it, we are playing the closed beta 3 here, but everything is unlocked. So if you're watching this kind of after the fact and the game's been out, don't worry, you're seeing the exact same game you're playing now. So no worries there.
Yeah, this is the launch version, so
Yeah,
no
everything is valid here, so no problems. But starting off the standard grid design here, Vendetta is OCD by his own admission.
I am. Unfortunately, I am.
Yeah.
Circles are nice, but my OCD will not allow me to draw them.
Yeah, it's one of those things that the curvy roads can look really cool, and they can add some character to your city for sure. And I've even seen some pretty excellent designs using spiral cities and kind of concentric circles and stuff like that. But you really can't beat the raw efficiency of a grid. I have a feeling a lot of the min-maxers out there are really going to be placing cities like this at the beginning, at least, until they get tired of them, and then eventually we'll start seeing some really wacky stuff.
Curves are excellent to add character to a city, as it were. Right here, I'm going ahead and placing a coal power plant. I'm trying to set up power distribution for my region. We're playing with a 3-city region, and I chose to do coal because dirty is cheap and efficient.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in the long run, it gets it done. I mean, you can have nice clean energy, and we did play around with that a lot in the previous betas, and that was fine. You know, it did the job at first, but we ended up using so much land, you know, to keep those wind power turbines up, you know, and keep adding them on as on.
Turbines!
Oh my gosh, seriously, it just used so much real estate, and the Sims just keep expanding and expanding and expanding, and here, where we're not limited to an hour of play like we were in all the other betas, we're expecting that to be even more of an issue where we're just going to need more power. So going with the dirty stuff, and you know, later on maybe in the full game we'll mess around with some solar and other more clean options.
Yeah, you can also build a Great Works, I believe the solar farm, which adds clean out energy to your entire
region. Yeah,
exactly,
which is an excellent option for sure. So laying down some industry down here, some industrial zoning, it looks like, and you're using these are the dirt roads here, right?
I am. I started out with dirt because, pro tip, it's cheaper to do it. You can lay your infrastructure with dirt and then go back and upgrade them. So
yeah, that's right. You can always do the upgrade road tool, which is a really, really handy one. And honestly, if there's anything we learned in playing this and in playing the previous betas to some degree, but certainly this one, upgrading your roads is absolutely critical. Traffic just goes completely bananas. I know Vendetta has promised that we're going to see a lot of that later in some of the later videos.
I make New York City proud.
Not in a good way, unfortunately.
Yeah, not in a good way.
With crime too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Muggings for all.
Want to make sure we're an equal opportunity imitator of New York here. We're going to have all the facets covered. Maybe even some stuff they don't have. I know we get some gambling going as well, right?
That's right.
You think
that the clickety-clackety.
It's important. So anyway, just getting the basic infrastructure here down. You can see them actually, you know, upgrading the roads now, just like we were talking about, trying to get some better traffic flow there, some better businesses installed. Later put some parks down as well, obviously, to help with that. Here we go.
Yeah, right here I'm checking the resource data layers. I'm going through and trying to figure out what kind of city I want to set up. As I've mentioned before, I go ahead and decide to stick with oil because there are 4 large oil
Oh
deposits.
yeah, look at that. That is just gorgeous.
And I
Black
figure
gold.
exactly. And hey, you know what? If it worked for George Bush, why not me?
Oh yeah, perfect. That's great.
He's an oil tycoon,
Yeah.
so can I.
Oh, that's a great delimiter there for success. If it worked for George Bush, that's perfect. No, it's certainly happened.
Probably get flamed for that in the comments, but
Hey, you know what? That's what they're for. It's no big deal. So, oh, yep, more bonds.
yes,
More
I love
bonds.
bonds.
Yeah, the bonds are so awesome. I was honestly expecting that to be more of a sort of a disincentive, I guess. I mean, I know they're kind of there to either help you get a big start, or if you start running low on funds, or you actually, you know, if you find yourself in the unenviable position of having a negative profit city, you know, something that's operating at a loss, they can keep you from having to essentially start over.
Yeah,
But
because that is an option. If you run out of money, you know, you have 3 options essentially, like borrow money, or what else do you got to do? You got to turn off services.
yeah, you have to turn off services, or you can restart your city.
yeah, the awesome option of doing that. So all your
that
hard
sounds
hours of
great. Yeah, I'm sure after playing the game for hours or days or weeks, and all of a sudden you build a negative profit city out of just some sort of moment of stupidity, you're gonna want to go, oh yeah, well we'll just shut this whole thing down and nuke it.
let's start over.
Yeah, no, you can definitely always escape with the bonds, and that's nice, but if you want to risk it at the beginning and you're sure that you're going to be able to recover from it, borrowing some money at the beginning to get things moving faster is a decent plan. And just when you get yourself in the position to pay those off, you know, go ahead and do it. But at the beginning, it's awesome to have some extra funds available. Personally, I can't wait to, you know, build up so many simoleons in one city that I can just loan like $1 million to a brand new starter city and call it a day.
Absolutely. I think you're really going to see that with your big industry cities such as oil and drilling, because they're able to generate a lot of cash.
Yeah, and that's something, you know, I know you learned here on this, and something we didn't really get to play much with during the previous betas was
Right.
kind of selling out to the global market and using that ability that they've built into the game, which is really cool and innovative. I was really impressed by it. But interesting that you'd think that stuff like, you know, just general sales or even gambling, as we will see, would be the big profit makers. But it turns out commodities, man. That's
Commodities.
What money is. People need stuff. People need minerals and, you know, oil apparently.
Fossil fuels are
Fossil
important.
fuels, yeah, you got to turn the lights on, right?
That's right.
So people need power. God knows they complain about it if they don't have it.
It's like they actually want to flush their toilet or
I
something.
know. So here you're laying some commercial, I see. They don't really tend to need very much. You got a full demand bar there for low wealth on commercial down at the bottom right. You can see it right now.
Yeah.
But that lotle bit that you've laid right there, that'll probably eradicate that entire bar. They just generally don't need nearly that much. Oh, it's time to place the poop pipe.
Yep.
Look at them. Everybody's overflowing.
They got to flush it down somewhere.
Not so much at work. That's where everybody poops at home.
Apparently.
But oh, there it goes, flowing down the side. Oh, such a beautiful sight.
Just put it down there by my factories because they're already polluting the air and the ground. What does it matter?
Yeah, and they're going to be kind of ticked at their conditions down there anyway. You definitely don't want to put the poop pipe up by your citizens. It just makes them very, very, very unhappy. But they all love the mayor house. They love that.
Yes, they love the town hall.
Yeah, the tunnel, exactly.
It gives them a place to complain, and they like to protest as well.
Yeah, they enjoy that, which is kind of funny. They get happier by being able to complain.
Some weird dynamic there.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, here we are at the barbecue pavilions. Vendetta's favorite park.
Yeah, I would have to say that's probably my favorite part of the game.
I think it is. I know you've used a ton of these in previous playthroughs, and why not? They're cheap, and they do such a great job.
They have such a great radius effect. You know, it's also practical as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It gets the job done, and that's what you want when you're placing parks, is the ability to affect a large area. If that's your goal, to transform a large area quickly, then you might as well place one park, because like all other buildings, they have upkeep, and they seem to have tweaked the cost for upkeep on buildings in this.
Significantly, it is not nearly as easy to make money as it once was.
Yeah, look, you're down to, I mean, you're in the yellow on your money right now, 952, only pulling in 2,000 an hour. You know, at this stage, you know, say, you know, around what, you know, 10, 15 minutes in or something, you know, in the previous betas, you could be pulling down a lot more cash and have some reserve funds built up. You know,
I would say double, possibly even triple at the same time in beta before.
Yeah, I think that's certainly right. Now here we're looking at your, this is your oil drilling area.
Yeah, this is my oil well. I'm looking to add some stuff to it. Silly me, I was not paying attention and didn't have enough money.
Yeah, well, that'll happen a lot in this game. And he's wanting build some oil wells in other areas. These little quests that they give you are kind of nice. Some of these seem to reward you with simoleons, and some of them don't when you complete them. Some of them are just warm fuzzy. Hey, congratulations, here's a little green check mark to make you feel good about yourself. But other times, you actually do get some cash, it seems, which is kind of cool.
The oil drilling is kind of tricky to get into, right? Because your initial oil well is $37,000.
Yeah, that's bananas. And
that's a very expensive trade to get into. Granted, it's well worth it. It's extremely profitable, but there is
high
a
startup
lot of
cost. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and already starting to see the traffic issues. Going ahead and upgrading the streets again already, just to help with that flow. You know, and you're putting some your essential services on the street too. I notice you got your clinic right there on the main drag.
I do.
You know, and this is your main commercial area and where all of your Sims are living right now. So it makes sense that there's going to be some traffic here, but you just really got to monitor this as you go through. It's kind of crazy how fast traffic becomes an issue now.
Yeah, traffic has really been tweaked a lot. I noticed it really causes me a lot of problems, and it's tricky. You know, you have to build in your transit and make sure it's flowing properly. Otherwise, your services are not going to function.
Right, yeah. Say, like, I mean, for instance, you know, talking about the medical center there, you know, you see an ambulance just take off right there from there. If he's got too much traffic, that Sim's dead.
Exactly.
I mean,
they're going to die.
A full ambulance bay, and the guy's going to die. I mean, he can't get there. Or fire is even worse. I mean, fires can rip through your entire city if you let them just go unchecked.
Right,
you know.
A sick person will die, but a fire will spread.
Yeah, which is crazy, and you know, you never want that. I mean, fire is one of the things that'll just rip you apart, and unfortunately is one of the more expensive services as well.
In addition to police.
Police is absolutely out of control.
Yeah, police is very expensive.
Yeah, but, you know, all needed. Dodo Donuts. I love that place. Definitely not referring to any you know, cartoon television show that's been on for 20 years or anything there. We didn't notice, Maxis. I promise.
Right here, my oil well's pumping out quite a bit of oil. What I didn't know in the beginning is that you actually need a trade depot to sell it on the global market.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, you know, in a future video here, you get that going.
Absolutely.
But at the beginning, yeah, you just need one of those. And those store up, was it 2,000 barrels?
Yeah, 2,000 barrels.
That it'll keep on site there for you before it, you know, just isn't able to hold anymore, and you're going to have to get rid of it somewhere.
Right.
So, but this is a really cool little setup you got right here. It's always nice to keep your industry kind of separated from everything else. That seems like just the smart thing to do. So yeah, here's the overmap.
Yeah, here's the region view. You guys can see the 3 cities there with the Great Works. I didn't have a chance to start a Great Works just because I kind of started
Getting frustrated? Yeah, I didn't hear you. But I think it was just the time limit really you kind of ran out on, right?
Yeah, 4 hours, and I mean, it flew by. Absolutely flew by.
Which is a testament to the game, but still.
Exactly. So here I'm starting my new city. The plan was to make it a gambling and education. Gambling and
casino and cards and dice city.
And books.
Maybe with money. I don't know. No, that's fine. So yeah, gambling and education, you're going to teach everybody how to beat the system.
Exactly.
That's how it's going to work here.
We want a city of cow cart.
So, and now I see you're sending some, power and water over to this city, so you don't have to worry about that?
Correct.
Yeah. This is working so much better now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Much faster than before.
Yeah. Because before, we were having problems. I don't know if you guys, anybody watching this was in any of the previous betas, but they actually turned on that sharing potential in the second beta, and there was some delay, you know, on the services reaching your other cities from, you know, one to the other, and it was kind of
really
annoying.
Yeah, it was really bad. You would have to, I think you sent, what was it, 200 grand over to a city, and they never got it.
Yeah. Seriously, I had a serious embezzler or something running the highway between my 2 cities during beta 2. It was kind of unbelievable, but it does seem here that they've really tweaked that out. So kudos to you guys if you're in the betas and reported that stuff. That's key. I know they count on that. and certainly helped make the game at launch a lot better here, because all of these things are just working so much better now.
So again, guys, going here with the grid approach, I know it's not necessarily pretty, but it is efficient, which is what I like.
Yeah, and even if you don't get the perfect squares here, you know, it seems like as long as you leave enough space for them to expand, you know, then you're doing just fine. You know, it's not anything you're gonna have to worry about. And
Not at all.
I'm noticing too, they have tweaked the display interface there, where you can kind of see the influence when your lane is a zoning area. Of course, you see where you're laying, but there's this secondary line a little bit above where you're laying it, and that shows you how far out a building placed in that area will want to expand someday.
Correct. That's the maximum distance it will affect. So when you get maximum density, that's the space it's going to take up.
Right. So if you really are planning on, you know, having an area reach its full potential as far as density is concerned by building those high density streets and that, you know, type of situation there, you want to make sure that you make your roads far enough separated from one another that they can expand. That's something we noticed all the time previously, and even some here, where you're going to have some buildings that constantly are complaining don't have the room to expand, and that's because you have roads that are a little bit too close to each other. You can always fix it later, but, you know, using the magic demolisher tool, the bulldozer, one of our favorites.
Yes, I love the bulldozer tool.
Not afraid to use it, but it's certainly not something you want to plan on doing if you can get around it. So, you know, nothing wrong with keeping lower density areas though too, if you want. If you want a trailer park town, go for it, you know.
Absolutely. Right here, you guys can see me going whack-a-mole with the bulldozer tool.
Yeah.
I didn't like the spacing.
Yeah, it's that simple. Yeah, if you don't like it, get rid of it. You know, unfortunately, you do spend the money. You know, you don't get anything back when you use the bulldozer, so bear that in mind. In fact, I think, yeah, Vendetta gave me a sneak preview, guys. Somewhere down the line here, he makes a rather egregious placement mistake.
I don't want to talk about it.
Tune to 6 figures, but that's coming later.
Yeah, stay tuned.
I can't wait to see that one personally, but
It makes me very upset.
yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that.
We're naming our town Gambleton. Originality points there, man.
You know, it's like we might actually have casinos here or something.
I don't know. I read something that said that.
Educations.
Edumacations. And see, that's exactly the type of education they're going to get here. They're getting edumacations, and then they're going to go to the casino.
That's right, because what do you do after a long, hard day at the casino and lose all your money? Go to school.
Go to school. That's right. Oh my gosh. I'm going to teach them to be dealers. That's about it. Cards, people. Dealing cards.
So here I'm just getting the basic infrastructure set up. Got a lot of my grid set up, again, with the barbecue pits.
These are important. Parks are so key, guys. If you're not sure on this, parks can control the types of citizens that appear in an area. So if you lay these basic, you know, low-dollar parks, you're going to keep kind of low-wealth citizenry in that area. If you go to the mediums, you're going to develop your medium sims, and then, of course, your high-wealth parks give you high-wealth sims. And those little demand bars, they're going to tell you, you know, what type of citizens are needed in a town. So if you have a lot of medium wealth guys, then they're going to want medium wealth shopping, and if there's medium wealth jobs, they're going to want medium wealth sims. So you have to just kind of place things around properly and make sure you're developing your city the way that'll serve it the best.
Exactly. That's key.
Yeah. Now, you do have a lot of industrial demand here, but I think you're just trying to keep that in your power providing city. Is that right? In your demo city?
Yeah, Demo City is providing all of the industry needs, which they'll commute back and forth, as you guys are probably well aware.
Yeah, that is something really nice there too. It shows that the demand is here, but that's just basically telling you, hey, if you were to build this in this city, the citizens that live here would utilize it. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to go elsewhere to go find that, you know, and still be able to support themselves here and pay taxes in this city. So
quick down for you guys who may not know. Citizens will try to find a job locally, but if they can't fill it, they're going to look elsewhere in the region.
Yeah, very key. And it's actually a great thing. I mean, you really want them doing that, you know.
Yeah, it is. If they can work locally, of course it makes more sense. If you have a commute that's 5 minutes versus 50, you're going to pick 5 minutes.
Certainly, I would. But
as would I.
Yeah, as would anyone sane, I'd say. But at least I hope so.
Unless you like driving,
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
that's on you.
Some people do. But But your traffic is staying under control here so far, it seems.
This one
Good.
seems a little better. I'm almost wondering if perhaps my road design was a bit off.
In the previous...
In
Demo
Norwich.
City, or Norwich, yeah.
It's demo. I changed the name.
That's right, yeah. So, yeah, it's
Kind of
possible. That's something
interchangeable.
you get to change, you can play around with as we play, so...
Something I've really noticed about they've tweaked is the little ticker up there at the top. That thing goes absolutely bananas. It's like you hit the bingo every 5 minutes.
Or the achievement bubbles when those things come up, those are hilarious too, especially because sometimes they're really innocuous.
Yeah, they are.
You know, it's like, hey, your police officer caught its first criminal. You're like, did I really do anything? I built a cop car.
Right, I put a police station down.
But hey, you got to have achievements. People really like those things, but
I'm a sucker for them. I gotta admit, it plays in my psychology. I'm like, you're darn right I'm the best mayor.
Oh, all about the positive reinforcement. That's the deal. Oh, this is a cool design. I like this.
Yeah, this is an interesting use of the square road tool.
Oh, it's fighting you pretty bad here. This is fun.
I'm not happy with these road layouts, but we only had 4 hours.
Oh,
so
I know. See, that's the beautiful part there too. When you're playing around with it in this way, you can at least tell yourself, oh, well, I can, just ditch this city. This isn't the full game. But when you do get the full one, or you're messing with it now, then you got to be a little bit more careful about your placement. But just so you know, too, guys, that whenever you are placing roads, if the grid tool is bothering you, or if it's just kind of making the wrong decisions as far as snapping, you can turn it off with that little check mark down there at the bottom left by the little construction hat guy. So that'll take care of that, and then you can put it back when you're ready to snap on again. So
again with the barbecue huts,
barbecue pit,
because
why not?
I love grilled chicken.
Seriously, dude, you got to own stock in that place.
It's my thing. KFC's got nothing on this.
It has to be good. Shoot, everybody loves those things too.
Lots of moving vans, as you guys can see. My town's really starting to fill up.
Yeah, it's really starting to flesh out now, which is great. This is what you want. I mean, you're pushing around 6,000 citizens or so, and pulling in 2,500 an hour here, which is not bad at all for the beginning. I mean, you're using most of your money as it shows up. I think you're probably just building up here now. You got about 20K.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my
the gambling house. Yeah. Got to get that moving before cops.
Yeah, that was probably in hindsight not a smart move, but I wanted to get the extra income coming in, so
yeah.
Hey,
why not? You can always build the cop station or the police station later, guys. The criminals escalate in time. They're not going to be murderers straight out of the gate. They'll start with petty theft and things like that. So as long as you don't stagnate too long on putting that in place, it's not the end of the world.
Something I really noticed is gambling obviously attracts crime, but they've really tweaked it. It attracts a lot more crime than it used to.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so maybe not wait too long. Right.
You'll see that I kind of pay the price here for neglecting my police. I pretty much have a crime problem the entire time. Unfortunately.
And the criminals will travel as well.
Yes, they will. They spill over into Demo City a little later.
Yeah, that's great. They're going to go try and rob that black gold out of there.
That's right.
Now, I noticed you went with the sort of lower wealth options on the gambling hall because you're sticking with lower wealth citizens in this lower area of town.
You got to cater towards your,
the population you've built. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's certainly key. You don't want to build a medium or high wealth casino sitting around a bunch of low wealth citizens.
Right, because it's going to be empty.
Yeah, they're never going to go anywhere. And things cost money too, guys. Bear that in mind. When you place these buildings, it's not just the 20, 25 grand, 30 grand or whatever to place the building. Every single one of them has an upkeep, even the barbecue pits.
Yeah, those are, I believe, 400 an hour.
Yeah,
or that might be a little steep. They might have tweaked that.
Yeah, it's crazy though. I mean, everything costs money, and that's the number one thing, just the upkeep on all these buildings that just hurts you. You got some
your service
in here, so.
Yeah, they're already picky about medical. I guess they don't like to die. What a shame.
Strange. It's almost like they want to live longer.
Which is a plus for me because I like them paying taxes.
That's a good point. Yeah, but unfortunately, yep, there's another cost. Got to put the medical center down, and that costs more money per hour. And
yeah, really eating up my budget. As you can tell, I already am developing traffic problems.
Yep.
Fire station, which I elected to put down rather early because they were demanding it. Already busy.
Already busy. Yeah. Well, they're stupid, so they're burning their places down.
Yeah, they only cook at 500 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in case another little pro tip there, guys, in case you didn't know, I imagine a lot of others do, but if you educate your Sims, they do have a lower probability of setting their houses on fire, which makes
Yes.
sense, and that's a nice little touch to put in the game.
It does make sense. They also recycle as well as install solar panels, so they use less energy. There's just a ton of benefits to education.
Yeah, if you can manage to go that route in the city and get it working, it's a really, really cool move. But here we're just upgrading some more roads, getting some more density.
Yeah,
Try and solve some of that traffic issue I see.
I think the problem is interesting because with traffic you need higher density roads. The problem with that is by upgrading your roads, you're also able to do, or they're able to upgrade to skyscrapers.
Oh yeah, they're
which-
going to build higher density buildings,
Exactly.
which means
so
more cars, which,
Yep.
yeah. So it's a kind of a self-perpetuating issue, and it'll be really interesting. You're going to have to make sure you design your roads well, to try and counteract some of that traffic issue no matter what.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be one of the big things that we see in sort of the long run. I know it's a continuing issue, and a lot of people had issues with it during the beta. But once we get days and days and days of playtime, then it'll be interesting to see how the traffic problems get solved in larger cities.
Yeah, I'd really like to see some design layouts from other players for cities because I know the grid pattern is popular, but if you have too many intersections, that also causes issues.
Yeah, it is true. But what do you think here, man? I think we'll probably just call this one a video here, and we'll continue it on the next one, because I think this is a pretty good stop point right here. So we'll continue this, guys. There's going to be more in this series, so just look for that. It should already be up. We're going to have a bunch of these. As I said earlier, Vendetta got hours of this on record here for you, so we're going to be commentating the whole thing, building right up through towards release, and just make this a great time for everybody. Please check it out. Leave us a comment, subscribe, tell us what you guys want to see here, and if we're doing anything wrong, you want to see something different, let us know. We're here for you. We're having a ball. Vendetta, any closing comments here?
Stay tuned. There's a lot more to come.
That's it, man. It's that simple. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you soon.